Good morning, and welcome to our Sunday celebration service here at Center for Spiritual Living, Minneapolis. Welcome to those of you online also. Feel free to log into the chat if you would like to trade some messages back and forth. My name is Jeff Bird. I'm one of the practitioners here, or as I'm also known as Mr. Reverend Debby, from time to time. Our statement of truth here is there's a power for good in the universe, and you can consciously use it. Consciously is the key word in that, and that's so much what we are trying to accomplish here. Our mission is to teach, demonstrate, and inspire a positive spiritual approach to living. And each month now, I don't know if you've noticed this, we do have a theme for the month. And it comes out in our newsletter. It's also going to be in our new programs that are here. And this month, the theme is Empowered Living. The profound thought of all the ages has stood in awe of life itself, realizing that there is a power, potentiality, and the highest possibilities of which the human intellect cannot fathom. That's by Ernest Holmes. So everything we've done this month is around that. If you are here or online, keep in mind that after service today, Reverend Debby will be doing an extra shot about 11:15, so please stick with us for that. And we're going to start off with some music from Clover Club.
Blue sky smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, and nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the day hurrying by, when you're in love with my love, they fly on. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, blue days are all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Nothing but blue skies from now on.
You know, you can catch these guys at different gigs around the Twin Cities. When's your next one?
Yeah, Saturday we're going to be playing at Metronome from, Carl, help me out. Is it from 7? 5:30 to 7:30 at Metronome in St. Paul. So you'll get to hear all of our jazzy jazz stuff that we do.
Perfect.
More of what you just heard.
Well, if everybody would just take a deep breath and center yourself here, even though it's so beautiful outside, and there's a lot of people having a lot of fun on the golf course from the way the parking is today. And just relax in the knowing that there is only one, and that one is something that we cannot completely comprehend. We can also not completely comprehend our connection with it, but we know that it is there. It is very powerful. And we are open to understanding it a little bit more each and every day. We are thankful for everything that went into putting this service together today, from the music to the talk that will be coming up, to the people participating in everything we're doing here. And just again, take that deep breath and just let it kind of flow into us, because everything we know, everything we don't know has come from the one. And I also saw something this morning that our ability to hear is between a very finite point of the sound spectrum, and our ability to see is in a very finite part of it, which means there's a whole lot out there that's around us that we don't always know about, but we should be aware of it and that energy that is there. Because energy is what everything is, and so it is. And one of the things that we really believe in is that there are many paths to the one, and we recognize all those and respect them, because everybody has their own way to get there. We know they're all heading to the same place, and the one thing that runs through all the different religions is love. When you step back and uncover so much what else gets tuned in, and love is in the middle of all of those. And we start by lighting our flames of faith today, which will be lit by Mary Sue.
Gotta make them work for it.
We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. And now take a moment to light the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. That candle is within you every minute of every day. And just notice that it's there from time to time. Thank you. And now we will have an inspirational reading by Leif.
Good morning. So this is from Maya Angelou, and it's the power of faith. In the depths of our souls, there lies a spark that ignites the flame of faith. It is a force that transcends the limitations of our earthly existence, connecting us to something greater than ourselves. Faith is the unwavering belief in the unseen, the conviction that there is a purpose and a meaning to every experience. Faith is not blind obedience or passive acceptance. It is an active choice to trust in the inherent goodness of life. It is the courage to leap into the unknown, guided by a deep knowing that we are supported by unseen hands. Faith asks us to surrender control and allow the divine plan to unfold, even when the path seems treacherous. Yet faith is not immune to doubt. It is in the moments of uncertainty that our faith is tested, when the winds of skepticism threaten to extinguish the flame within. But it is precisely in these moments that faith reveals its true power. It is the choice to believe, even when all evidence points to the contrary. It is the willingness to hold on to hope, even when despair whispers in our ears. Faith is a transformative force. It opens our hearts to compassion, enabling us to see the divine essence in every being. It empowers us to overcome our fears, to break free from the shackles of self-doubt, and to embrace our true potential. It teaches us that we are not alone in our journey, that there's a higher power guiding our steps. So let us hold on to faith, dear friends. Let us nurture the flame within, even when the world tries to extinguish it. Let us walk this path with unwavering trust, knowing that every step taken in faith brings us closer to our authentic selves. For it is through faith that we discover the extraordinary power that lies within us and find solace in the embrace of something greater than ourselves. May you find strength, inspiration, and unwavering faith as you navigate the tapestry of your life.
That's beautiful. It never ceases to amaze me where inspiration comes from and how it comes through all different kinds of people out there, including everybody in this room. And now we're going to have one more song.
Spirit, we are beautiful. Spirit, we are beautiful. Here in the light that surrounds us, we are beautiful. Spirit, we are powerful. Spirit, we are powerful. Trusting in the mind that guides us, we are powerful. Spirit, we are bountiful. Spirit, we are bountiful. Thank you for the life that sustains us. We are bountiful. Spirit, we are beautiful. Spirit, we are beautiful. Here in the light that surrounds us, we are beautiful. Spirit, we are powerful. Spirit, we are powerful. Trusting in the mind that guides us, we are powerful. Spirit, we are bountiful. Spirit, we are bountiful. Thank you for the life that sustains us. We are bountiful. Spirit, beautiful. Spirit, powerful. Spirit, beautiful. Spirit, bountiful. Spirit, beautiful. Spirit, beautiful. Spirit, powerful. Spirit, beautiful.
We're going to set the stage for Reverend Debbie's talk by doing our group reading at this point in time. It is in your program. It may end up in the screen here. Or not. We'll do it out the program. I am ready to deepen my conviction in the power and presence for good. I'm ready to apply it in my daily life. I am ready to receive God's highest blessings. I am ready to live from a higher level of beingness. I am ready to be a transformative light in the world. I am ready to receive Reverend Debbie's talk.
All right. Thank you all. Isn't that music wonderful? We are so blessed to have Victoria and Carl with us more Sundays than not. And they learn these wonderful songs just for us, which is even more cool. Okay. I'm going to start off with some quotes. I have an insurmountable faith in the perfect outcome of every situation in my life, since God's infinite intelligence is in absolute control. Yes?
Amen.
For me, maybe, sometimes, most of the time. For God hath faith not given us of the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Timothy. With man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. Matthew. God meant for good. Genesis. All things work together for good to them that love God. Romans. These statements, they're so powerful. And I don't know about you, but some days I can be like, yes, that is so my truth. And other days it's like, really? Come on, really? And so this month we've been looking at planting these seeds of goodness, of love, of prosperity, of all of the things that we not only dream of and desire, but all of those things that we know are true because of that insurmountable faith. And today I want to look at that faith. And I want to share something interesting. So the title of this talk is Faith That Fulfills. And I started with those quotes, got the talk title. And then I realized what I'm really talking about is moving from that place of fear into that place of faith. Because for me, that's what gets in my way, is that human idea of fear, not remembering, as Timothy said, that we are not born of the spirit of fear. So here's this thing about faith. We all have a lot of faith. Everybody has a lot of faith. We have faith that that debt's never going to go away. We have faith that that job's never going to be perfect. We have faith that we'll never find the perfect love. We have faith that that next shoe is always going to drop, right? We all have that faith, and it's strong. And to a certain extent, our family, society, supports that faith, that idea of we can have faith that it's never gonna be enough. But what about that other faith? That faith that Leif shared with us this morning that is so beautiful. That faith that transcends boundaries. That faith that is universally available to all of us. It is the faith that the scientists find in their pursuit of truth. It is that faith of an artist when their inspirational paintings and whatever that artist is about to do comes to life. It is that faith of a lover's devotion to oneself. What about that faith? That faith that is that spark, as Maya said, within us, within each and every one of us. That faith that we can, if we're willing to come to this humanness from that place of power and that place of love, that spark that we can see in every single individual we come to. It is that faith that we all are one. And that we all belong to the one. It is who we are and whose we are that we all share. What about the faith in that? I love this story of a woman, and she's being chased by a bear. She's running as fast as she can, and finally she's cornered. She's got no place else to go, and she turns around, and in such fear she just says, "Okay, are you going to eat me now? Are you going to eat me now?" And the bear says, "Lady, I don't know, it's your dream." Right? How many times is it that those things that we fear is just our dream? It's our imagination. It is how we've built this, whatever it is in our mind, how we have visualized what's going to happen, when it's really our dream. It's our power. It is our ability to step away from fear and step back into love, back into divine goodness, back into that breath that is Spirit's gift that is always giving. In this teaching, we talk about how powerful we are, that what we think about, what we focus on, what we talk about, what we have emotions around, that is what we're creating. So what if that was an insurmountable faith that we started to court? You know, that faith that can become that anchor when we're in adversity because we know whose and whose we are. That faith that if we just take a breath and listen, we allow those whispering words of it to come back to us. What about if we focused on that faith that allows us to be resilient, that teaches us on a regular basis how grand life is, and allows us to see in our darkest moments that it's just temporary. It's just temporary illusion. Because a new day will dawn. It always has. We just have to go back into our own personal history to find one of those dark nights of the soul and see the light that really did appear. We can prove it to ourselves on a regular basis. Faith that is that steadfast belief that even though there's all this chaos, somehow something is working for the greater good. Whether we see it, whether we feel it, no matter what, it is weaving threads in our life. So the question is, how do we let go of the fear? And how do we step into that trust, that faith, that strength that we all have? How do we do that? Well, it's hard to say because it's personal. We're all on our own journey. And so we all have our own ways to going about doing that, all have our own ways to go about transforming, right? We do. That's part of, there's a class that Reverend Sherry's offering that starts this week. It's part of that work, right? It's all personal and it's all transformative. But there are a few simple, really small steps that I believe we can take on a daily basis that'll allow us to strengthen that faith muscle. Because the time to work on faith is not only when you're ready to get down on your knees and give it all up, but the time to work on faith is when everything's going so great. And just building up that resistance. Small steps that we can take now. First, we can recognize and acknowledge that we've got fears. Right? We can identify them. Because once you identify it, it loses some of its power. Once you identify it, you get some of that strength to work around it. What are some of the things that you fear most right now? When we acknowledge what our fears are, when we name them but not claim them, we can then figure out how to go about letting them go. And that leads us right to that idea of cultivating self-compassion. I'm sure I'm not the only one in this room who can feel passionately for others while I beat myself up for a bad hair day. You know? What about if we were as compassionate to ourselves as we are to those that we love? Because self-love, self-care, it opens up that wonderful door for that journey to be so much sweeter. And then we can take the small step of seeking support, recognizing that we're not in this alone, that those people in our lives who are not supporting whatever it is that we're doing, we can move beyond them. We can move into this spiritual community. We can reach out and seek spiritual counseling and prayer support from the practitioners of this center. We can do it in person. We can do it via Zoom. We can do it via email. Anyone right here and right now who is not feeling supported, now's the time to say it and allow our prayer practitioners to provide that support. There's no reason for us to ever go it alone. Sometimes it's so much easier when someone else takes it. I know for me, when I can't let it go, I can still let someone else take on the burden. I can let them handle it because I know it's being handled. I don't have to handle it. So if you don't have a prayer practitioner, if you don't have a prayer partner, think about it. Then, of course, we can also start to practice mindfulness, because when we are mindful, when we are in the present moment now, we are not paying homage to that crazy little monkey mind that's saying, oh no, oh no. And we can embrace our uncertainty and surrender our control. Again, by turning it over either to Spirit or to a prayer partner or a practitioner. But most importantly, we can focus on gratitude. You knew that one was coming up, didn't you? It's gratitude. It's just the simplest spiritual practice one could embrace. And there is no faster way to move from fear into that place of faith than by being thankful. Being thankful. We take these small steps. We allow ourselves to embrace the discomfort that it brings to us, right? And before we know it, we're beyond our comfort zone. We're out there. We are living in faith. We are steadfast enough to realize that we're content with who we are. To realize that we can make this world a better place for all by recognizing all from that place of love and faith. Mary Morrissey, I once heard her give a talk, and she was in her early spiritual growth. She hadn't built her center there or had all of those crises going on. But she went to church, and for the first time, she really paid attention, and she heard someone say, "You're not having a bad day unless you accept it as a bad day. It's not a bad day unless you say it's a bad day," right? When something bad, the words of advice that this minister gave was, if something bad is happening, put it out of your mind for 3 days. Like, write it down, put it out of your mind for 3 days. Wait 3 days before you panic, you worry, or take action. And during those 3 days, something good will come of the situation. She wrote that it was the first time she ever realized that one can schedule one's panic attacks. Don't you love that idea? Like, okay, this isn't so cool. I'm just going to give it some time to marinate. not willing to turn it over to God, maybe not even for 3 days, maybe for 3 hours. Maybe we need to start with 3 minutes. I don't know, wherever you are is where you have to start. But just turn it over, let it go, and step back into that knowing that Spirit gave us power. Power of choice, power of love, the power to breathe. That's our truth. Emma Curtis Hopkins wrote, "People often know the promised passage of the Bible by heart. But when trouble strikes, they have no confidence in them as the absolute truth. Just once holding on to them when you are in trouble would give you a good start in faith. Holding on to the great principles set forth in the Scripture while you are in trouble will invigorate your character beyond your means. It is the very mystery of godliness. How sure are people to come out right who have a strong, honest confidence that they will come out right? We've all proven to ourselves that we can come out right. We've all proven to ourselves that having faith in ourselves, in our divinity, always wins in the end. I have insurmountable faith in the perfect outcome of every situation in my life, since God's intelligence is in absolute control." Morrissey, always, always in control. Even when we feel we're not in control, we are. We can still breathe. We can still give thanks. We can still smile. We can still say, "Not today." I know I've never walked on fire, but I know I've walked through it, and I'm sure all of you have as well in one way or another. And we're all still here, and we can talk about it. We can share our experiences with others. We can remember how much better it was once we walked through it. Ernest Holmes, "Faith is the ever light of our day and the light of our way, making way clearly visible to us when all others may beset us. Maybe there are nothing but obstacles in front of us. It is the light that shines." So, in the Bible, it talks about Peter, right? And Peter was walking on water until he realized he was walking on water. And then what happened? He was no longer walking on water, right? And that's what fear is. It's that little thing that says, wait a second. But what if we said, no, I'm not waiting a second. I'm gonna deal with that later. I'm gonna keep walking. Because my faith is not only strong right now, but it's getting stronger. Last week, Marv shared a testimonial about turning it over to God. And every time he turned it over to God, it got better and it got sweeter. It's all about that. That's what faith is all about. It's about planting that seed today, strengthening that muscle today so we have it for later. It's about knowing that whatever it is we're going through, we're going. And on the other end, our faith will be so much stronger. Repeat this after me, if you would be so kind. For God has not given me the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, of sound mind. By myself, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. Every situation in my life, God's infinite intelligence is in control. That is the truth. So, your assignment this week, when that fear shows up, when that nagging little thought shows up, put it aside. 3 days if you can. 3 hours would be great. Just put it aside for 3 hours. Just don't think about it. Just let it marinate. And then see what it looks like in 3 hours. This week, I invite us all to schedule our panic attacks. Let's try it. Let's see if it works for ourselves. Because as the founder of this teaching said, the only way to know it works is to prove it to yourself. So, who's willing to schedule panic attacks this week? Let's do it. All right. All right. And now I'm going to close out with a prayer. So join me. Let us just all take that wonderful breath. Allow that gratitude to seep in. And I just say this in the first person when I say, oh, Spirit, I love you. It is that love, it is that power, it is that joy, it is that divine connection and knowing of that higher goodness that I just say yes to. I say yes. I say yes to knowing that that is not only my truth, but everyone's truth. I say yes to a life that is full of love and joy and is centered in faith. I say yes to being surrounded by those divine individuals who are here to love and support me to the same degree I am willing to love and to support them. Right here and right now, I claim the power and the glory and the divine expression which is mine by divine birthright. I claim it. I use it. I give thanks for it. And I share it knowing that as my life becomes more abundant, I have more to give. And those around me have more that they can receive. In this moment, I give thanks for everything, including my fears, because it is through that I can reestablish my faith in myself, my faith in the one, and my faith in this thing that we call love. I love life. I love me. I love my community. And I just allow love to lead the way. And so it is.
As we have Clover Club coming back up to get set here. Did anybody else think she said metronome when she said metronome?
Metronome.
No, I heard metronome. Here we go. Take it away.
This is a new one for us. It's barley. Liz Wright does it. The wind that shakes the barley will not shake me. The wind that shakes the barley, it will not shake me. The wind that shakes the barley won't shake me. Like my mama told me, this I know when I see. Well, the fire that takes the kindling will not take me. The fire that takes the kindling will not take me. The fire that takes the kindling won't take me. Like my mama told me, this I know when I see. Oh, hey, oh, hey. that floods the valley, it will not drown me. The rain that floods the valley, it will not drown me. The rain that floods the valley, oh, won't drown me. Like my grandma told me, there's no good when I see. Well, the hawk that stoops the sparrow, it will not strike me. The hawk that stoops the sparrow, it will not strike me. The hawk that stoops the sparrow, won't strike me. Like my grandma told me, this I know when I see. Oh, hey, oh, hey. The dark before the dawn breaks, it will not find me. The dark before the dawn breaks, it will not bind me. The dark before the dawn breaks will not bind me. Like my mama told me, this I should know when I see. Well, the wind that shakes the barley, it will not shake me. The wind that shakes the barley, it will not shake me. The wind that shakes the barley will not shake me. Like my mama told me, this I know it when I see. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Very, very good. And I'd like a round of applause for Anthony today for working so hard to get us where we are right now. We appreciate that very, very much. Now is our time for conscious giving. And as we get ready for that, let's think about the law of circulation from the form of a smile. During COVID, one of the things that was taken away from us was smiling at somebody in the store. And did any of you feel a lack of circulation back at that point in time? And you could maybe tell in the eyes, or they thought you were crazy. One of the two. But now, giving a smile in a store, you get more back somewhere. Open the door for somebody is another form of circulation. Getting that back. Letting somebody in traffic, whether you want them to or not, is another form of that. So now as we look at taking these envelopes, let's just concentrate on that. Concentrate on a smile for a moment. And when you've given them, and when you've gotten them back, so important, so simple. Sometimes we try to get so complicated with things, but sometimes it is just so simple that when we got to take masks off, first off, we thought we weren't supposed to be there, but we got to do the smile right away. And that was just like that. The circulation on that happened almost immediately. So as you take your envelope, think of all the smiles that are out there. Think of the different ways, if you're online, that you can hit the contribute button up there. We love recurring donations. We love estate planning donations. So we are very welcome to continue to build as we get back here and are running with things. So we'll pass the hat around now. And a little, I am so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
We are grateful for the gifts, and we are grateful for the givers. Thank you very much as we move forward from here. And our gift to you is the gift of spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. And we have practitioners throughout the house. We have Sue, we have Dee Ray, we have Dennis, we have Leif, we have Debbie, Reverend Joanne, Reverend Sorbo, Sherry. Okay. And myself, if you need anything. So we are happy to do that. Or you can put a thing in the prayer box or on our website. There's a place to put it in there. And you can have the option to either have somebody contact you or we just take it in prayer ourselves and work with that. So we are very happy to see the truth for you. Announcements. We have a book study still going on. Don Miguel Ruiz, I believe, is who's Thursday. This is the last week of the 4 Agreements. That is on Thursday nights. Reach out to Celeste. That's also in our newsletter. Hopefully you're taking advantage of our website as we got out there. We're starting to put spiritual mind treatments up there. We are expanding it as we go along. The services are on there. The talks are on separately. So if you just want to go in and re-listen to a talk, you're able to do that and work with it. So we are continuing to expand that and with our Facebook presence and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So we are grateful for that. And if you're new, welcome. This is a very welcoming group of people. Stay around for some fellowship afterwards. And I would like to have Reverend Joanne come up and give us a blessing on the way out before we have coffee.
One sec.
Uh-oh.
One sec. Sorry. One sec. Okay, for those of us here, it's a beautiful day in Minnesota, right? But we have this extra shot going on, and it's all about visualization. Not visioning, but visualization. So, how many here have ever worried in their life? Okay, when you worry, you are visualizing. So I promise that this will be, because we're ending early, this will be a really quick extra shot. There's a handout. If you can't stay, grab a handout. Totally get the fact it's a beautiful day here. But we're going to do it anyway. We're going to post it online as well. And I invite those of you who are willing to stay to hang out. And that's what I got.
Thank you. And I'd like to leave you with a blessing. May you be at peace. May you know the beauty of your own true nature. May your heart be open. May you be healed. May you be blessed. Namaste.
Namaste.
All right. So we're going to sing you guys out. Why don't you all stand up? Somehow I've got salvation now. It keeps the spirit moving in my soul. And every day I find it's peace and joy of mine. And it keeps me singing in my soul. Oh, I'm singing. Yes, I'm singing in my soul. When the burdens roll, I sing from morn to night, and it makes the burdens light. And I'm singing, yes, I'm singing in my soul. And every now and then there's something deep within, and it often tells me when I'm doing wrong. I still need kneel and bow on my head and pray. My heart rings out inside a song. Oh, I'm singing, yes, I'm singing in my soul. When the burdens roll, I sing from morn to night, and it makes my burdens light. And I'm singing, yes, I'm singing in my soul. Oh, I'm singing, yes, I'm singing in my soul. When the burdens roll, I sing from morn to night, and it makes my burdens light. And I'm singing, yes, I'm singing in my soul. Oh, I'm singing, yes, I'm singing in my soul. When the burdens roll, I sing from morn to night, and it makes my burdens light. And I'm singing, yes, I'm singing in my soul. And I'm singing, yes, I'm singing in my soul.
Okay, everybody